Okay, it's Henry again, and this is going to be the work in progress video for my last Master Grade Endless Waltz commission. So, like I said in the Wing Zero video, somebody commissioned me to do all 5 Endless Waltz Gundams. And this is the last one. This is Deathscythe Hell Custom, or Deathscythe Hell EW, whatever you want to call it. So, like Wing Zero, this one came to me already snapped together, so I just got done breaking it down into sub-assemblies, well, mostly individual parts. There's a few sub-assemblies here. But, and then sorting them out by color and cleaning up the nub marks and sanding those down. And now I am about to get started painting, so let's go. Okay, now that the paint job is done, next step is decals. Now, this, kind of like Wing Zero Custom, this is one of those kits that Bandai never made an official water slide decal set, unfortunately. So, what I'm doing is I've used the dry transfer decals, and I've already got those on here. Most of them are actually on the wings. there, some more there, and on the outsides of the wings, just little caution markings and stuff. So I've used those. There were a couple that were on the body, just like literally 2, I think. And but for the rest of the markings, we've got these clear stickers, which I'm not going to use because they're clear stickers. So I've got a whole pile of leftover water slides from past kits, and I'm just going through and basically copying the instructions from what markings go where, and then just finding the decals that most closely resemble those over here in my little spare decal pile and applying those to the part. So right now I'm about halfway through. I'm doing the arms right here, and a little decal that's going to go on the elbow. Move that over there. Oops. Stick that in place. Uh-oh. Almost messed that one up. Okay. So anyway, decals. After these, I'll start with the weathering. And it's wash time once again. Just going in with Mr. Weathering Color and going through all the places where dirt and grime and stuff would collect, all the little crevices. Just doing a rough wash like this. Now, fortunately, most of this kit is black, so I am doing a wash on the black parts, but I'm not being quite as thorough on the black parts as I am on the gray and red parts. So while there is a wash here, it's not, yeah. And then we'll just give that a little wipe down and be on our way. And now I'm on to the chipping phase. I ended up using 2 different colors of chipping for this kit, namely because the kit's so dark. I used sort of like a medium gray for the chipping on the black parts, like on the wings, for example. But that ended up being almost the same shade of gray that I used for this armor. So I'm using a darker gray to do the chipping on this. And that's definitely showing up a little bit better. And not really doing anything different. I'm just doing some brush chipping and then going back with a sponge and doing some sponge chipping for the really small chips. Just going along the edges where paint's going to get scraped off easily. And before I get around to top coat, I did want to show off the teeny tiny little Duo Maxwell figures. So yeah, there we go. I think that's about as good as they're going to show up. So painted those. Duo was really easy to paint because he wears all black. I just had to paint his shoes and his the white on his sleeves and the red scarf, and that's pretty much it, aside from his skin and his hair. So definitely one of the easier 1:100 scale pilot figures to paint. Okay, and now that the top coat and final assembly is done, the Master Grade Deathscythe Hell Custom, or Deathscythe Hell EW, is complete. And I gotta honestly say, out of the 3 Master Grade Deathscythe Hells I've done, this is probably the best looking one. Let me zoom in a bit. I was actually kind of surprised at how well this turned out once I got everything assembled. I think I did a better job on the weathering than I did on Wing Zero. Namely, the wings on Deathscythe Hell were a lot easier to weather because they have a bunch of hard edges and it's easy to tell where the weathering is supposed to go. And they're not quite as complicated as Wing Zero, so those definitely turned out better. The decals look good. I went with a darker gray for like the legs and the biceps and the face and stuff than I usually do. And normally the gray I use is so light that white decals don't work, so I had to use like black decals on the last one I did. But this time I did the gray a little bit darker, and it was dark enough I could use white decals, and it just turns out really good. I kind of surprised myself on this one, and it's weird because I didn't really do anything much different than I've done on my last few kits in terms of paint job or weathering, but this one just for some reason turned out particularly nice. Do a little turnaround to the back. Not that there's really a whole lot to see back here, but just some pre-shading and some chipping, but still looks pretty good, I think, and I think my customer will be quite happy with this commission. So that actually completes my Endless Waltz commission set. Like I said in Wing Zero's video, someone commissioned me to do all 5 Endless Waltz Gundams, and I did Nataku and Heavy Arms Custom last year. Already mailed those off, so now Wing Zero, Sandrock, and Deathscythe are all finished, and I can mail these off, and I think they turned out pretty darn good. So, my next kit actually is not Gundam Wing related. Yay! But I will get on that shortly, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.